Drones depend on control links that can be lost, or potentially, as may have happened with the Sentinel, even taken over by the enemy. But what if a craft could operate on its own, free of any links, and even make its own decisions? In a lab at the University of Pennsylvania, Vijay Kumar is funded in part by the military to create autonomous drones that don't need external links and, like us, can sense their environment.
What you see on this robot are these two chips here, which are essentially rate gyroscopes. These play the same role as the semicircular canals in the human body located near the ears, which essentially tell us orientation. So the rate gyroscopes are on board. You can actually measure these angular velocities at thousands of times a second. This chip here is the accelerometer, and this allows the robot to sense accelerations in the lateral direction. So these are analogs to the
Do you realize that your daughter just
measure
did?
acceleration of the human head.
When a human pilot feels an unexpected change in acceleration,
Sweetheart,
he
we'll
knows to
talk
adjust.
about it later.
Yeah, right.
The robots do exactly the same thing.
Done your homework?
The sensors adjust the
Promise you
craft
again
by
with
changing the
Frank.
relative velocities
Play
of
after
the
you
road
finish your homework, all
and
right?
allow the drones to follow a leader with precision.
The fundamental problem in coordinating
Sweetheart, please.
is the ability to maintain formations. What a robot has to do is determine where its neighbors are and figure out what their relative position is, and then monitor that relative separation very carefully. You only need to tell one robot how to move, and the other robots essentially maintain
I can't help
formation
it,
by
Frank.
just keeping
She's
a
our little
specified
girl.
relative distance.
My little baby. And I'm
In the
sure
figure
you'll
eight, they
say.
come within inches of
There was
each
no
other,
excuse
so
for
they have to
happening.
combat.
No excuse. I'm sorry. I cannot accept what you did. Just tell me not to get upset.
Come on.
Give me a trigger. What's the please? Just the trigger. Just give me a please. Asshole. No man kisses another woman the way you did, regardless if it's his daughter or not. And I know what he's fucking doing.
Honey, my daughter, our kid.
Our daughter.
There's no
Our
sexual
baby.
connotation involved.
Who the hell are you trying to know? Our little baby is now getting the beach party, the drive-in movies, the boyfriends, the bands, and so forth. What the hell are we gonna do?
Listen to me. When the time comes, we'll both sit down, we'll discuss it, we'll talk to her. Believe me.
I realize that we have to do things together. I just didn't think it was gonna happen so fast. I mean, God,
All right, relax.
To talk to you when you're back in history because I picked up the paper one day that showed the 10
I know,
best
I
men in the United States
hope
for 10th
Frank-
war.
Relax.
And the Taylors are the fashion people voted you as one of the 10 best dressed.
I know what you're saying
That
is
is
right.
correct. With this body. I mean, how
Maybe I'm wrong. No.
how'd you get on that list?
Things will work out.
Turn on me. Don't turn on me. It's not advisable. Is that true? The 10 best?
Well, that's what they said.
You're always so loving and kind and understanding.
No, you dress nice, but you don't know about clothes. You're from Nebraska.
What are you
have
talking
8
about?
guys say, that looks good, Johnny. You go, honest to God. You don't know about clothes. They lifted up to you to wear those checkered shirts with the thing over the ears going,
Let's go
let's
and
get
get a
some
bottle of
deer.
champagne and
Let's get some deer.
Let's get some deer. Did you see Deer Hunter?
I saw.
That's the way
I
Pittsburgh was.
know
Is that our place?
Seven touches.
No, what is that on the show?
$7,000 shirt.
Don't try to hide things.
That's right. They said don't
Why put things behind closed doors?
You've got little embroidered initials on your shirt.
That's
She's
right.
not here.
You have those
She's not gonna
funny
walk in on us.
seersucker shirts here. I don't know what the heck. And you wear cufflinks. Oh, no,
wear
not
cufflinks.
I thought, well, I saw you at the fair when you had done cufflinks. Just a minute, Rose. Hey, try to work yourself up. She could be
As
tonight.
usual, Frank, you talked me into it.
No, he's starting to relax, and then you'll have a can of beer, and you'll just later go, did we do it, honey? You gotta keep alert. I want this. I don't want this to miss. You know I love you. You know that.
Okay.
Means a lot to me.
Now, you look, we're gonna end this, in May. Now, are you gonna miss coming here?
You're leaving in May?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's right.
You're going?
You know that.
Oh, well, I do, and I'm going to be very depressed for about 2 minutes. I don't want to tell you. Let me get this out of the way. Thank you for 25 some odd years we met in New York.
That's right.
And I got news. God bless you. You're the best. And that's the end.
Well, let's do it.
Boy, you sure look big.
What's in here tonight?
I am. Rehearsals ran almost an hour over today. Baggage choreographer wanted everything. Absolutely perfect, darling. God, I look as bad as I feel.
Before you slash your wrists, would you come and wash my back?
They're your people. Yes, my people. Persecuted people down.
You better hold your nose, though. You smell like a stevedore. I've been sweating so much all day.
If you're a stevedore, I wouldn't be wasting all this time in the tub.
As they were.
Horny, darling.
You'd better believe it. I spent the night last night with Saul Jacobs, that new producer over at Columbia. Ha! I had to work for almost 2 hours before he could even get it up. Then he jumps on like a walrus and performs like a worn-out ball player. 3 strokes and he's out.
Poor baby.
You were brought here by force.
I'll buy you a dildo for Christmas.
You may choose to remain with us of your own free will.
If you're real good, I may let you borrow
No
it.
one will be able to go back to
If I'm good, I'll need it.
Catherine, it's me. Won't you help me, please? Catherine, I beg you. I'll send it back.
What about that new stud of yours, the football player?
Steve? Oh, he tried hard enough. God knows he's well hung. But he's still a kid. Just doesn't know what to do with what he's got.
Want me to show him for you?
It's always one of your greatest virtues, sweetheart. Self-sacrifice.
You forgot humility.
Well, I'll say one thing for Steve. Sure is a tit man. Squeezes so damned hard I could take either one to a fortune teller and have his palm read. Where in hell did you come from?
The lower level.
Donna? One of your nutty friends is here.
Who is it?
What is it? Is a better question.
I'm a devil.
I'll bet you are.
Only what?
You don't believe me?
Something strong, more exciting, and rather stupid, ugly, commonplace.
That's a hell of a trick. How'd you do that?
I'm a woman.
Hey, what's going on out there?
Coward.
You tell me.
Sink back into the mud.
Oh, hell, I'll be out
Sick
in a minute.
mediocrity. Is that what you want? Safety? Is that what
Okay,
happens when the
Buster,
scars
that's
heal?
enough
That one gets
games.
fed and forgets?
What's your story?
Story?
Yes, and
What do you want?
And I have the
I
right
want
say
you to
that
help me
because I'm the
prove
man who
that the
saw
earth
it
is
when no one else
corrupt
did.
and all men are sinful.
Have you forgotten that too?
Oh, you came to the right place, honey.
No.
You're sinful?
But you are something more.
The most.
Or at least I'd hoped you were before this heavenly transformation. I could kill the doctor. Why?
It's been a little long,
Because he has
John.
changed my partner into a dove. A tame, cooing dove. Soft and weak and full of love for her fellow men. For the old and the weak and the unimportant. You should love your fellow man, you. Your fellow man loved you, didn't he? People held out their arms to you and said, here's love and life and laughter and everything a woman wants, didn't they?
Oh, you know they didn't.
I know they didn't. But who else? I saw the real Anna. The heart shining brightness of you. There have been women like you before. They became conquerors, queens, empresses.
Oh, Torsten, this is 1941.
Oh, I apologize, I forgot. This is not the spirit of the party is trying. Yes, yes.
Around 5 o'clock.
That'd be lovely.
Today or tomorrow.
No, I'm
It was nice. Otherwise in the living room.
Sure.
And I could be greater than any party has ever been.
If you see one day, it might be a good idea if you...
You thought that I was concerned about my pets, that I wanted money, that I'd
Like a threesome.
safely and comfortably. untouchables like the untamed pigeons on this ancestral estate. No, Miana. No one knows me. I've played the charming, good-natured, friendly, amiable fool because I was waiting. I was waiting to find someone like you who had also been cheated. Yes, God cheated you when he gave you that scar. He cheated me when that little boy was born to take away from me what was mine by right because I can use this power. To the devil. And I know how to serve him if I can only get the power.
You're hurting me.
Am I? Forgive me.
To 400 millisieverts an hour. How serious is that? Well, 400 millisieverts is a serious dose from an occupational point of view. The normal yearly rate is, what's allowed is 20 millisieverts for routine operations, and going up to 50 millisieverts in any 1 year if that's necessary for some reason. In emergency situations, the International Commission on Radiological Protection recommends that planning should occur within a range of 20 to 100 millisieverts, but that people shouldn't really see 100 millisieverts in one event unless it's totally unavoidable to save life or to save massive destruction of equipment.
How serious would those extremely high levels of radiation be for workers operating on the site?
Well, it looks as if it only lasted for a very short time. Certainly the one that was reported, which was 400 millisieverts an hour, which is a very high dose, seemed to be only for a short time. But they certainly have had to evacuate workers at various times because of the radiation levels.
The concern being expressed was that a core group of workers still on site, working in shifts of 50, could develop acute radiation sickness. If these crews are working for hours on end, how bad could that be?
Well, I believe the 400 millisieverts lasted for a short period of time as there was a release from reactor 4, but so that it didn't continue at that level for a long period of time. But if you worked for several hours at that level, then you would get to big doses of 1 sievert or above, which would start to cause acute radiation syndrome, and you'd have nausea, vomiting, and these sort of effects, leading to reddening of the skin, hair falling out, and also compromising your immune system.
3 weeks. It's not very long. Wait and see. An awful lot can happen in 3 weeks. Who can say? You could run into a great guy. The man you've always desired.
Free to open your Bible and
if you really want him,
Joel chapter 2, verse 28.
He'll cover you with kisses.
And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall
feel the sensations all over your body.
Your old men shall dream dreams.
It must be wonderful.
See visions. My name is Jennifer Perez, and I'm 15 years old. It's hard for a teenager like me to come to you and recognize my mistakes. But with the help of the Holy Spirit, He will help me and give me the strength that I need.
You shouldn't be sad.
First of all, I want to say
when He's gentle, it feels so good. And the more He caresses you, the more you want. Is that true? Your senses tingle. You begin to feel warm all over your body.
About it all these months?
Doctor, she couldn't survive without taking morphine.
After
the operation.
Yes, you told me that, but where did she get it?
Dr. Craig.
And when he stopped prescribing it?
I stole it from her.
Why? Instead of trying to help her, you did everything you could to make matters worse. There'll be an investigation, a trial. I'll have to tell the police all about you.
No, please. No. 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 No.
Sister Mathieu, what are you trying to do?
It was a pickup. I couldn't find it here.
Stop it.
She's all I have, Doctor. All I have. I had to do it. Don't report me, please. Please don't be yourself. I didn't know anything about it. I'll never even use it. We've been working together for years. I'll do anything you want. Anything.
Why should we depart those who
You must help me or I'll kill myself, Doctor.
I would skip school, I hardly go to school.
They want to be loved.
Just to keep my habit. I was at the point of getting it.
They have to be loved.
But the Lord took me out of all that.
The whole world.
They said I was a Christian.
Everybody wants to be loved.
May 2nd, 1997. That day, I had a friend, and we were only friends. And he knew we were friends.
When I was 17, I could do anything. It was so easy. My emotions were so close to the surface. I'm finding it harder and harder to stay in touch.
My parents weren't home because they went to a prayer meeting that came Friday. And I told them I wanted to stay because...
Where's the vibrator?
I was also mad that...
What's going on here? You all crazy? You can't do this to me.
Listen, if I were you, I would shut up. You can, and we are. Now, if you're a good girl, you won't get hurt. You never know. You might even get off on it.
Are you gonna rape me?
Seems that way. Listen, I told you this morning, this is your lucky day. You know, not every girl gets a chance to fuck me.
Will you shut up and get on with it? Listen, girlie. You talk to me and me only, understand? I'm your lifeline here. The critical path for you runs through me. Now, Freddie over here tried to get you to cooperate. But no, you wouldn't listen. I might just ask. I want to know one thing. But I don't think you'd oblige me with an answer. Position 6. I can't waste time beating around the bush. Where's the vibrator?
Vibrator.
You don't understand. Make her understand.
I live in a two-story house, and all the windows in my house...
Listen, we're not going to stop until you talk. And you can't talk until we stop. Oh, don't you bite me. Now look, make me feel good and I'll remember it. Make me feel bad, I'll remember that too. But don't worry, I'll keep you posted on how I feel.
Freddie, you ass. You talk too much. Shut up so I can hear myself. Every time I think I can get someone to trust with a little responsibility, it's never true.
Hey, you can trust me, boss.
Every time I think I can count on someone, I get hurt.
Hey, you can count on me, boss.
Nobody takes care of anyone any good anymore. It's lucky I'm so strong. In the end, I suppose it's good not to care at all. But I can't help it. I get caught up in caring.
Why do you, boss, huh?
Why do I?
Yeah. Why do you care? I mean, what do you care about?
I care about power. I want my power to run through my actions alone and not idiots like you, Freddie.
I'm sorry. You carried away. I don't do anything.
You don't do anything, Kurt. Now, I thought I told you to shut up.
Hey, I don't get it. I mean, what's the problem, huh?
I can't make my power work effectively through others. It's limited to me. My own control over my own actions. In the end, my inability to control the actions of others inhibits my ability to control my own actions. I find myself powerless. I can hate as much as I want. I want something as much as I like. Well, this humanity everywhere just gets in my way. Even though I only attach an abstract importance to my own will, since it has no real internal motivation, I cannot escape decide. You know, I actually feel completely and effectively trapped. Poor bit. You feel the same way too.
Oh, it feels good.
enemies. It's important that you go back to work at cortical systematics. We need to maintain as many agents there as possible.
The trout farm is owned by Cortical Systematics?
Yeah. Their corporate slogan should be enemies of reality.
Someday soon, we will destroy Trout Farm and all game pods inside.
We love you.
Now that you have proven to be true and trustworthy realists. We'll be in touch.
When that happened, I don't know what happened after that. But when I could see, I felt my spirit out of my body. I was already at the hospital. I saw the doctors and nurses all around me. When I was out of my body, I saw my body on the bed.
Looking for Darcy Nader, is he here?
You know how you look at yourself in the mirror, you see yourself, you see a reflection of yourself. But I didn't see a reflection of myself. I saw my body on the bed.
Hugo
People
Carlo.
of the United States
Is
of
Darcy
America.
Nader here?
Here is your president, George W.
He's in the back.
Come my way. And they grabbed me one by each arm and they were taking me
You want
to
him?
a place.
There he is.
When I reached where I was in heaven. The first thing that I saw was a great big wall. It was a white wall. It stretched out. It didn't have no end.
Is my true hero.
Of that wall, there was
He's who I look up to.
It was a long
He's who I follow in the footsteps of. If you want the
In
truth,
the Old Testament, Moses speaks of
if you want to know,
he
where
describes
I'm all
it
about.
and
I ain't just a Texas boy.
that
Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective,
and I saw
a new world
right
order.
beside the door, a little bit beside the door.
I pledge allegiance to the Illuminati of the United States of America, and to the national republic for which it stands, one nation, under Satan, with slavery and death to all.
It was dark around, it was ugly. On my left side there was paradise. Trees of crystal clear water.
I'm gonna give this bitch what she deserves. They all deserve it. They all should be punished. All of them. Punished. Punished. They all should be punished. Punished.
As Vicky passed the bathroom, he saw Billy washing the mud from his face. So, it was Billy who had chased her through the woods. Vicky listened, but she couldn't hear what Billy and Mary were saying. Why was Billy trying to frighten her? Vicky was certain that Mary had no part in Billy's cruel schemes. Billy! Billy! 411 people lost their lives that day. Should have been 412. Adam pleaded with Billy to be kinder to his sister. Billy, disgusted,
nothing can live in that
walked out of the room.
I'd stay off.
What? Real funny. Billy decided he wasn't going to wait.
Since I'm gonna die
He was
anyway,
going to
can I
get
ask
that
why
mask.
there's still so much interest in this project? We know that the life form cannot be controlled.
Someone seems to think you found out more. I believe Tyler made sure you got a specimen. That way you could go on and continue with the work.
I'll tell you what we found. An extraterrestrial life form that simply wanted to learn.
It took over the minds and bodies of United States citizens. I decided to and pay used a them as a friendly weapon call against on us. Adam Kent's. I don't care if it comes from the Mideast or the moon. Terrorism is terrorism, and it must be stopped and dealt with quick and clean.
Why'd the government ask Tyler to weaponize it instead of just destroying it, huh? Now who's the terrorist?
It's threatened our way of life. It fought back. Do you realize that the specimen gets out? It will possess victim after victim until the entire human race is completely destroyed.
If we could win back its trust, can't you understand that?
I can understand this. You don't tell me where it is, I'm gonna blow your head off. I'll have this place picked apart brick by brick until we find it. Your choice.
Either way, I'm dead.
Well, then think of me as Gabriel at the pearly gates. You can choose heaven, or you can choose hell.
You couldn't do it. You tried, but you couldn't do it. A brave captain. Wait until his men hear about this. How he rapes women with conversation. You're an animal, all right. But you're a possum. You haven't got any spine. You're nothing but a slimy possum.
Now that's possible. Perhaps I'm not everything I used to be. And then I'm sorry. Or does that to me?
We didn't ask for that war, Captain.
And who did? We didn't tell you how to live.
The idea that there was
Who are you to tell us to change our way of life?
was considered impossible.
Your Mr. Lincoln's damn proclamation that created this.
Have a remarkable way of coming true.
Captain, every human being has to be
So
free.
who can say that
And Negroes are human beings.
Yankee lieutenant said that just
According to Jewish law, it is forbidden to desecrate any place of religious worship. So if the Jews cannot...
It must be the eyes. At first I thought it was the mouth, but
there can be another.
I see it more in the eyes.
The Arabs might decide to move it elsewhere. In any event,
You remind me of
those who believe
sometimes. The light is right. I see her. Like now, with the lamp there, and that little shadow.
over the last 2,500 years, Jerusalem has been controlled the Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, the Turks.
Suppose I tell you about these creatures you want to set loose on us.
To the events of recent history, with the biblical prophecies
Yes, small plantation.
When
I went to war.
It was
Bought 6 extra blacks.
crisis of 1973.
Fresh from Africa.
The full meaning of Zechariah's prophecy was.
And when your armies came through, they freed all the blacks.
Jerusalem as a
freed my slaves too, but
stone.
New ones.
And said,
they
all
were
the
dumb,
nations of the world
ignorant,
gathered against it.
Didn't know what to do with themselves, and how to feed themselves.
We can see very clearly
Well, as I said, they were fresh from Africa.
With the world running out of cheap
Lived in the woods like the animals they were.
Oil has become the most powerful economic weapon on Earth. As alternative sources of power run out,
when they got hungry
everyone will become totally dependent on Middle
came
East
back to
oil.
my farm.
As the industrial nations are brought to their knees by the power crisis, the Arabs will use their political power to try and gain control of Jerusalem and the holy places.
little boy.
When they do this, Jerusalem will indeed become the burdensome stone prophesied by Zechariah. And all the nations of the world will become involved in the ensuing crisis. A crisis which will lead to the final battle of mankind in the valley of Armageddon.
Is our planet truly in mortal peril? Can there really be any substance to all those biblical prophecies?
Oh, yes, it's true.
In our investigations, we spoke
When I
with
got
some
back,
of
I
the
saw
world's
some of
leading
them.
scientists.
Of course, they ran when they saw me, but they didn't run fast enough.
And
I got 3 of them.
I
guess they were too full to run fast.
In the last 10-15 years, we actually know
home on leave. I saw the front door was kicked in.
Before
went around the back.
Possible disaster.
There they were, sitting around that fire, just eating away.
Who finds it hard to see how the human race
couldn't tell what part, body it was, or who it was.
Much past the year 2000.
Cut up body looks like any other piece of meat, except for the head.
To midnight or whether
It never
it's
changes.
10 minutes to midnight is
Cannibals never eat the head. They
Emphatically not.
drive a stake down into the
I don't
ground.
see it happening in that way. I'm
Take the
not a
head.
fatalist in that respect.
Shove it
Well, I think the Earth
down
has
on
been
it.
here too long to all of a sudden just get up and disappear.
I think we'll go on living forever and ever.
I think there will always be civilization. Always.
They'll make it. I won't be there.
You get some rest. You'll find that gold tomorrow.
Conceit or ignorance that makes us feel invincible before nature? What is it that gives us the idea that our time on Earth is infinite and without end?
The difficulty really is that
So many people cannot absolutely envisage the possibility of the extinction of the race. As a matter of fact, my own brother says he can't envisage his own extinction.
Speaking as a zoologist, I can't really look at mankind as anything other than one of the many different kinds of creatures that I've examined. And, of course, one thing one knows immediately as a zoologist is that the human species one day will become extinct. I just don't want people to feel that they're here forever, that man is in some way...
Now there's a familiar sound. Will it mean a sale?
Hello? Yes? Yes, ma'am, we make home calls. Yeah? No, madam, I'm sorry. I can't tell you what's wrong or how much it'll cost till I get there and see the set. If it's bad, we'll have to pull it. Sure, I'll come over and see it. When'd you say you live? Okay.
How many mistakes did you catch that service dealer making in one quick phone conversation? Let's check. He had a poor attitude to begin with and didn't give the impression of being polite in the conversation. He didn't sound happy to get the business. He didn't get the customer's full name, address, and phone number for his customer list. Although he shouldn't have been expected to diagnose the trouble over the phone, he could have listened to his customer and not cut her off rudely. The total price would, of course, depend on the extent of repair, and this could only be appraised after set inspection. But if it was a home call charge, he should have told his customer how much it was if she didn't know. There should have been a definite appointment made with a specific time mentioned. That's the best insurance that your customer will be at home and ready for you to do the job. 6 big mistakes in less than a minute. Let's try that routine again, but this time with a sales-minded man.
Good morning, East Radio TV. Yes, ma'am, we specialize in TV service and make home calls. In the evening? Certainly, but only by special appointment. No, ma'am, I'm afraid I have another call to make then. But I could come over Saturday afternoon. Now, let's see, would Saturday afternoon at 3 be all right? Fine. May I have your name, please? Mrs. Ann.
My child died because of you.
And your address,
my
please?
daughter. She died
And your phone.
because of you.
The following is a worldwide Church of God presentation.
For this, Pronclair.
Yes. All the people in this area know him by the name Vicomte Pronclair. He was the former chief of the ranger in this part of the jungle. But later he was reported missing. It was during the war with Vietnam. We found out he's still alive. He created an empire of his own, given the name Cancun Empire. Presently he is exporting drugs and cocaine to some other seas buyers. He created an army called the Dracula. Mostly aborigines of the jungle tribes. They are ravenous for human flesh. With his money, he bought himself all sorts of modern weaponry. But this empire is easily shattered if Pronclair is killed.
So he is a devil in human form. And a bloodthirsty Dracula. What are we going to do now? Oh, we're to dispose of them.
Yes, you're going to raid the main camp bypassing the Draculas. This is the only way you can destroy the empire.
Any route leading to the main camp?
Oh, yes. This is a place where Pronclair presides. You have to go early tomorrow morning. You have 12 hours to finish the mission and occupy the camp, and by that time, I'll be sending my men.
Well, now, perhaps this is because we're afraid of the big question. Who is God? And where is God? Are, of course, the questions which so easily confuse our skeptical modern society. The Bible says
That's all I
man
need.
is made in the image of God. But does that mean that God looks like you or me or Mr. Robinson round the corner?
As long as he doesn't look
Limited by
like
the
you.
physical things which limit you and I? Of course not.
Hooray.
We're dealing here with a problem of the imagination. Somehow somehow didn't bother earlier people, so strong and secure, simple in their faith.
Of course they pay. There's germ
Then
warfare,
heaven was as real a place
chemical warfare.
to America is
Plenty of
to
money.
you and I.
Special
They
agencies.
knew, of course, that there are certain things
pay.
that no human mind.
They pay a lot better than they do in private research.
Yet they gave words and names to these things. Words which still
It's a matter of genetics.
mysterious, warm, glowing,
Radiation, selective breeding.
lonely and distracted.
They called it
Angel.
Operation Razor
Is
Teeth.
such a word. Lovers still use it when they talk to each other.
To destroy the river systems of the North Vietnamese.
Something in their
Their goal was to develop
Ladies and gentlemen,
a strain of this killer fish that
welcome
could
to
survive in cold water
Ambassador
and then
Auditorium
breed at an accelerated
for
rate.
Festival 86.
There's everything.
And now,
Blank check.
the young
And
ambassador.
then the war ended.
You sound disappointed.
They poisoned the water. After all that work.
But some survived.
We developed a lot of mutants, and a few of them were able to resist the poison. They ate their own dead, then began to breed. Like some wild species. Suddenly there were hundreds, maybe thousands.
For tax dollars at work, huh?
Well, that's science in the service of the defense effort.
Sure. You're spreading strange bacteria in the subway system.
You put them in the river where they could kill people, including civilians, and little kids swimming in the rivers.
I never killed anybody. If you want to talk about killing, you talk to your politicians, the military people. No, I'm a scientist.
Kids in the water.
What?
The dam. They let the water through every couple of days, to keep the level steady on the new lake. Resorts down there, summer camp. Those kids, come on.
Immediately it starts to make me dissociate. Because even though I don't have DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, where the person breaks apart into separate personalities, I do have dissociative tendencies where I somewhat black out, kind of. I don't often lose time, but I get stressed out and I am unable to control myself. I also had a lot of things done with my mouth. It's the one reason why when I go to the dentist, I have to be so drugged out that I'm almost unaware of anything. Because they would, they had this contraption that they would strap in. It was a metal piece that they would put in your mouth to keep your mouth open. And they could force you to eat stuff like feces, all kinds of stuff. Sleep deprivation was a big thing. Not allowing me to sleep for long periods of time. There is a great website out there. Lynn Shermer is a survivor, and she has drawn out a lot of the contraptions that were used. A lot of things were inserted into the head of my penis. Electricity was inserted into the head of my penis. Every nasty thing you can think of. I know people who were raped by cattle prods, stuck up their bum with electricity, and I personally don't remember anything like that. But it's hard to, as an adult, it's hard to really put it all together and put it in a way that actually is congruent so that you can explain it to people. Because
do you have to relive the emotions of it to go through it? Or can you...
Right now I'm dissociated, kind of just having this conversation. It's okay for me to talk. The emotions will probably come a little bit later. And that's why I'm very careful a lot of times of who I talk to this about, because the emotions can come back. You can have emotions, you can have body memories. For the longest time, I had problems with my genitals hurting constantly at the tip. And nothing was wrong. I would go to the doctor, nothing was wrong. And then through therapy, that was when I started to remember, well, wait a minute, they put things up that I think it's called the urethra. And that's the reason why I had the problems. And then when I remembered what was happening,
body memories went away, and I haven't had problems with it.
There is such a thing as cellular level memory in your body.
Sure.
And yeah, and that can really block your body. So hopefully this will, help that. But when you were being taught to be the Antichrist, what was the significance of the pentagram?
I was always in the middle of the pentagram. I was regarded as a host. I was being raised to believe that something was going to inhabit me when I was an adult. It was not me, but a different entity. And I write about it in my book because, lo and behold, at 40 years old, I went through a phase where I ended up having what was called a shamanic extraction. Now, at the time, I thought I was either losing it, or I'm losing my mind, or my brain was starting to repair itself by living over something that I believed was my destiny at the beginning. But basically what they did was that they would put me in the middle. Now, my sisters and brother were all on the outside.
That's not turkey,
And I show pictures in my book of Hummel Park where they have a star, an inverted star, inlaid into the
Well, if it's not turkey, then what is it?
stonework of the pavilion where we did
Now you
most of the sacrifices at Hummel Park.
There, 30-some years later, right?
Yeah, it's still there. It's still there.
Emu?
That takes some serious stonework to come up with a five-pointed star out of it.
Why don't they just call it that?
Oh, would you really buy it if they did?
No, I guess not.
Which one's yours?
Oh. Hey, over there.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Thanks.
No, I mean, she's lovely. A real princess. Looks like they're friends already. Oh, the boy, he's my...
Yeah?
Oh.
Okay. A little more.
Here.
Thanks.
Oh, it's humid today. I don't really mind it, though.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
Has she met all the princesses yet?
She has indeed.
Don't you think it's strange that princesses pretending to be someone else, hugging all these kids?
Yeah, I guess.
I wonder what age we stop wanting to do that. Hug a perfect stranger. I suppose they aren't really strangers now, are they? Everything all right?
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Piles of trouble. You've worked
your
all
necklace.
your life
Your
in
necklace.
order
I
to
meant
much
your
money.
necklace. Sorry.
There. You like it?
Yeah, it's
It's what?
I don't know. There's just
It's so easy.
about it.
Aren't you tired of being a loser?
From another time.
Come on, man. It's a chance. How many people ever get a chance?
Yeah. Wow.
Feel my vagina.
Wait
Oh, nothing in his car.
You think you found my
They must have taken hers.
hysterectomy.
Huh? Sorry.
Don't worry.
I think we got a problem.
Here it comes again.
Sure, I remember. That's what
Shh, you like the kids.
I don't remember.
Oh, here.
Any signs of the package?
Oh, you like that, don't you?
Picked it up and left.
Thanks a lot, pal.
But he brought it right back.
Did what?
It was crazy, but he shipped it right back to pass it to himself. Robert Brown, that's it. Is that any help?
Yes, operator. 213-469-9011. Yeah, hold on.
What a joke. You're welcome to stay a while. My husband will be back till late.
No, I think I better go.
Hello? Ellie, where the hell are you?
Myra, listen to me. I've left Desert Springs, and I want you to do exactly as I tell you.
You know the
Calling from
princess?
the payphone, and I don't have much time.
Yeah,
You got any money?
Yeah, about $40. Why?
Rich Asian businessman.
Honey, I can't tell you too much right now, but we're going to have it made. Now, I want you to meet me in El Paso, Texas, Friday night. You understand?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, you get yourself a bus ticket, and I'll meet you there Friday night at 8 o'clock. You got it?
Come on, Ellie, you make it sound like it's life or death.
Now, you listen to me. You get your tail down there, and you do it now.
Okay, I'll be there. 8 o'clock Friday night.
And I'm warning you, Myra, I can't wait for you if you're going to be late.
I won't. You'll see.
Meeting you.
Okay. Honey,
Real
we had it
blouse.
made. I'll see you, okay, little one?
Okay.
Is something wrong?
No.
You know, it's almost 5 o'clock. We must have fallen asleep.
Yeah, I guess we did. Myra, are you coming back?
Come on, baby, let's go.
What's the matter? You got any money? I guess so. Myra, I'd like an explanation. How much?
I don't know, 100 or so.
Look, I'm going away for a while and I'm gonna need some bread, okay?
Where are you going?
Away! I don't understand. What are you doing? I'm taking some money for services rendered. I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about you. Are you hard of hearing? I'm splitting, leaving for good.
I know it's awful being
Myra,
cooped up in a
let
place
go
like
of me.
this.
I'm going to meet Ellie.
But I'm
no,
sure it won't
she's
be
no
for much
good
longer.
for you. She'll only drag you down.
I must get away.
Stay with me. What? You jealous
Oh,
of
I
my own
spoke to
sister?
Professor Oster.
She's a murderer.
He feels you're doing
you
well.
said so yourself.
In this kind of clinic, you're bound to get.
But I'm not getting better because nothing's the matter.
No, I won't
They
let you
should
go,
know
and
it
I won't
by
let you
now.
destroy yourself because of
They all
her.
assume that everyone has a mental
I'll
illness.
call the police. Supposing I'm going because of you.
Why can't you
Supposing
love
I
me
can't
the
see
way
your
you
creepy
do?
hands all over me.
Anne, no,
Hell,
you
I know
mustn't
what you
say
need.
that.
I'll call Harry up here.
forgotten all
He'll
you
know how to
did.
take care of a woman like you. Or don't you make it with men anymore? You no good little. Just
Anne,
think of it, Diana.
we must forget
you and
about all
Harry
that
together
now.
naked. You want to know how many
When I
times Harry
became
and
a
I
woman,
made
you
love?
stopped loving me.
You want to know how it feels to be with a young man?
And I began to look to other men for what I'd
All I
found.
wanted to do was to take care of you.
But there's nobody like
I
you,
wouldn't come
Peter.
close to you with a 10-foot pole.
Only you calm that
You know what?
passion.
You're sick. You're
But I feel
perverted. You like
burning,
girls instead of boys.
scalding.
But don't worry,
very
after
hot.
I'm gone, you find yourself
No,
another
forget about all that, or I won't come here anymore.
Because face it, you're a dyke, a lesbian,
Now calm
a no
down,
good
get a grip on
queer.
yourself. I didn't come here to
All
upset
this
you.
love and kindness. So
Look,
good.
Peter,
Is that the way you get all your
you don't
little
say
girls?
I'm mad, but you believe it.
I'm gonna tell the whole
Is that
world
what you
that
want
you're
to
a
keep me
goddamn queer.
You ran away from me, though I don't know what I did. I'm so lonely. In the meantime, I have to go on living shut up here with a bunch of real weirdos.
I'd better have a word with Osterman.
But why do you want to do that? Please, Peter, if you love me, let's leave together.
I swear.
You must
You don't need to
I
explain.
dare not tell Father.
It was all right to play love
Something you
games as a
said.
child. But now we've both grown up, you
It was
can't.
though he was
You're afraid of what
possessed by
people
the
will say. But each day I
There is
die
evil
here.
force afoot.
We'll talk about all that the next time I come to visit you.
Maybe it wasn't Joseph at all. How can that be? Come with me, child. There's one sure way to
Peter,
know.
tell me I'm still beautiful.
You're perfect, Anne.
If you only knew what you mean to me, Peter.
It was indeed
I
an
miss you
attack
so
of the demon. Your virginity
And
was
you're
still
never here.
intact.
I feel so alone.
No, Anne. You must understand that anything we did as children is over.
Thousands of years ago, the Egyptian kingdom forced its cultural influence and power on the world as it was known in
to
that
prove to
epoch.
the world his innocence. And every time he
During
came to
the
the court, you
18th
were there
dynasty,
by his
wearing
side.
the double crown
Tell
of
us
white
about
and
that
red
time.
of
How
Upper and
hard was it
Lower
for
Egypt,
Michael?
Pharaoh Amenhotep ruled.
It was very tough. It was very hard for him,
It was a bad time
and
for the
even
Egyptian
before
nation,
that,
the Pharaoh
this
being a brutal
was
despot.
all planned.
Under
It
his
was
savage rule,
part
the
of a
Egyptian people
conspiracy,
suffered
it's part of
tremendously.
the American government the FBI to do an investigation for 16 years on Michael Jackson. And for what? They found nothing. And they tried and tried and tried to bring him down, to diminish his popularity. And that's what is so just unbelievably misunderstood by the world. It's like they put these allegations out there because they want the world to think that he did this. I know my brother. We know each other. My mother raised us to have God in our lives from the very beginning. Michael never would do such thing, but this was a way to put the world's focus on this while they're trying to steal his publishing, his catalog. He was so powerful in success. I just wish he would have embraced Islam, and I tried very, very hard because I think that would have been his protection. I was fortunate enough to have met someone named Ali Gamber back in '84, and then we made a journey in '89 to Bahrain and to Mecca, and that was my support and my guidance.
So was Michael Muslim the time he died?
He was studying a lot. His whole protection and his security were all Muslims, and he was ready to make that journey. And I felt that because my first trip, I brought him so many books, and he reads everything. But getting back to the whole trial, this was all a conspiracy, and they finally said, we got him.
So the government in the U.S. was behind that conspiracy?
I feel that the investigations, to investigate someone for 17 years, you don't have anything on them, and you leave the investigations open. They have ways of doing things. That's why this system is what it is. And that's what disturbs me, because now they just released all these FBI files, and they said they found nothing.
Yes, right. I read the report. It's there on the internet, and they have nothing against him.
They had nothing against him from the very beginning. Do you know how this would have made him feel while he was alive to show? But the reason why they didn't release these, because it would have helped him. Maybe different with mentally, his image, his whole demeanor to people who wanted to believe these ugly things. So they knew what they were. So now they release him while he's dead because they want him out of the way. And so I'm speaking like this because I'm very disturbed. I'm very disturbed in the system. I'm very disturbed in the way things were handled because he became so successful. His kindness became a threat.
Why? Why he was a threat?
Because that's the way it is in this world. He's not interested in politics. He's not interested in anything but helping people. That's it. And making their lives
I want you
better.
to take us back to the moment when the judge announced not guilty on 13th of June 2005. Tell us about that moment. What did Michael do? What did your mother do?
Well, what had happened was when we went to the courthouse for the final. Well, let's start over. The judge told us we're going to read the verdict on this day, and if Michael Jackson is not in this courtroom in 45 minutes, he's going to jail. It's told to us
for 20 years.
He's going to jail regardless. That's what they told us. So, in other words, if we're late and he's not here, he's going to jail. And so what happened was we got the call, and we were all at the ranch ready. So Tito and myself, we put on our clothes really quickly, and Michael was in one of the SUVs with my sister Rebe, and she was kind of consoled him, and he was just beating his leg until the floor. Why are they doing this to me? And they really thought he was going to jail, but see, Allah is so good because His good and His innocence. It's what freed him. It's not money. It's material. He's a good soul. That's what freed him.
Yes, he was.
That's what freed him. So they told us there's only 6 seats. Every trial, when you didn't see certain family members there because the judge did not want to show And the American media didn't want to show my entire family sitting there supporting their brother. They wanted to make it seem like some of us weren't interested because they only gave us 6 seats. It's more than 6 family members in my family.
Yes, sure, they know
So this is the American system. This is what they do, right? This is what they did to us.
He was a warrior. He faced them.
Yes.
And he was
So
acquitted from all the charges.
So Janet and I weren't allowed in the courtroom because there were no more seats. So we went upstairs and we were sitting in a room. And I hear all this cheering. And I walk over to the window and I see this lady release the dove. And I said, what's going on? But that's very positive. Then I found out later on every count, a dove was released.
Yes.
They wanted to put him away forever because they didn't want the good that he was doing. And they just didn't want Michael Jackson out there no more for whatever reasons. And the good that he's done all over the world, and the message in the music and the type of person that he was and he still will always be is what freed him. Because they tried, but that goes to show you that Allah is stronger than the judge, is stronger than the allegations, everything they tried to put against him.
Yes. So after that, you advised him to leave the U.S. and go to the Gulf, to Bahrain?
I told him he needs to get out of here because they're trying too hard to do something to him. They're trying too hard. And so he went to Bahrain, and which I found to be a wonderful place, a very peaceful place. And I wanted him to stay there and to be there. And he came back to the States, and I guess he was getting ready for these shows, for the O2 shows. And I was very excited because he was getting ready to do what he loved to do, entertain and create. And it's just that he was so excited to sell out 50 shows and to be ready to get back on the stage and to really give people what he's put on this earth to do, is entertain and make people happy. And all of a sudden, the last night, when they were saying goodbye and some of his last words, I mean, you saw it. And he's concerned about
when he held the hands of others.
He's concerned about the planet. Concerned about before the Al Gores, before just the Oprah Winfrey's, the Obamas. It was Michael Jackson that people looked up to because of his message and his music and what he was put on this earth to do.
Someday I'll be free of my immobility. I'll heap all my hate of the centuries onto the world. My dear Samana will also return to me and will be united in the world of the unknown. My descendants will carry out my will.